coding part and to control something based on the actions. That means, say for example, ATM. Take an ATM. We draw money from the ATM by inserting the card, pressing the pin, and telling the machine that how much money you want, or telling the machine. That means you are telling a machine to do some actions. But how come the machine knows, and how come the machine knows that amount is there in your balance, and how come the machine knows to do the transaction? Because of the software. Okay, the program which is written by any developer or any fresher or any team leader, whoever it is. That means he wrote some code. So the action is given by the Siva or any Nandini or any user, whoever it is. They are telling, okay, you do this one. Based on that action, that machine understands, okay, I have to execute, I have to do this action and give the user the output. It makes life easier. It software means. So if I integrate the software with ERP, because here we are trying to understand what is D365 Business Central. I will show you the screen first. Let me know if you are able to see my screen. Are you able to see my screen? I shared a browser. Okay. So this is D365 Business Central. The way it looks is this. So this we call as web client. From the web client, we access the ERP. So what is an ERP? The full form of ERP is Enterprise Resource Planning. So what we do with the ERP? So in the ERP, what all we have? In the ERP, we have so many modules. It is like it is defined with so many modules. Finance, the main thing to do ERP transactions. Sales is one of the main thing, and purchasing. These are the main things. Three main things for any ERP. Excluding these three things, we also have manufacturing and also warehouse and customer relationship also we can manage in ERP. But whereas that is a different module, but these all things will come under ERP. So what we do in the ERP? Mm, So ERP is like enterprise source planning. Okay, so this is enterprise resource planning. So why we call enterprise resource planning? What we are doing in the any ERP? So take any ERP. We have so many ERPs which we can do the transactions. This we call as Business Central, Microsoft Business Central, and other ERPs are SAP, that is targeted to large scale business industries, and other ERP is Oracle, that is also targeted to large scale business industries, and another ERP is F&O, which is the SAP, SAP, Oracle, F&O, which we call also as Accepta Business Central or now NetSuite. Okay, Ban. Okay, okay. So these all are ERPs. What they will do? They will hold the transactions. How? based on the daily users, daily whatever the users they are doing the transactions with this ERP. SAP is targeted to large scale industries. Large scale industries means with heavy transactions per day and so much data it will be hold. These three are targeted to large scale industries. Business Central are now earlier version of Business Central is now, and now we are calling this as Business Central. This is targeted to small scale industries or medium scale industries. NetSuite is like small scale industries. Barn is only for manufacturing and warehousing thing. This is also an ERP, but only for manufacturing and warehousing transactions. Okay, so now we will understand what is ERP and why we have to use all these products to understand ERP. Say for example, you we are doing sales. Say in the sense, for example, take any company, any small company with 10 users or 20 users. They have sales. That means they will sell the products. They have purchase department. That means they will purchase the items. They also have finance. That means who gives money to purchase the item and who receives the money while they sell the items. On top of this, they will have an MD also. That means if we take the organization structure under MD or CEO, we can call CEO or MD. Okay, small company we call a managing director or CEO. Under him we have heads like finance head, then sales head, purchase head, and each head will have around, say for example, sorry, five members, five members teams. Okay, think like that, assume like that. This is just an example to make you understand what is an ERP. So it is a purchase, so make it to seven members. Okay, they have to. We'll take only three departments for now. Say for example, in these seven members, three members purchased an items and they write in the file what they purchased and they have a paper which they will send to the purchase head. Around yesterday, say for example, yesterday around 4 p.m. one of these seven members gave that file to the purchase head. So he will have to inspect that what they wrote, because whatever the end user wrote we cannot directly approve. So the purchase head, what he will do is he will inspect the invoice. Like when we buy anything in the Amazon, we'll have an invoice, right? A document of showing what we purchased, what is the amount. So that kind of invoice the purchase head will invoice, sorry, he will check. Okay, so after he check that, he will send that to the finance head. Then once he approved, that finance head will send those documents to the CEO or MD. Okay, so in our small example, we have four-step process. First step in the sense the document sent from the end user, in the sense the use resource, like whoever bought the amount, like anything, whoever bought from purchased anything, one, two, three, four. Say for example, the the member from this one of the member from these seven, yesterday he filled the document and he kept in the table of purchase head around 4 p.m. or 4:30 p.m. But this purchase head is busy with meetings. He didn't notice. He didn't notice the file is in his table. Okay, and this member also did not inform. He simply kept and he left for the day. And after his meetings, the purchase head also left for the day. So next day when he comes, next day means, for example, today, yesterday we kept the file. Today he came and he understood, okay, yesterday only the file is kept. he will understand what is the file, and he will analyze and he will approve that. Then he will send that this to this finance head. If he is not busy, he will check at that moment. If he is busy, it will take time, maybe hours, maybe a day. Then this finance head, after approving that one, he will send that the same file to the MD or CEO. Okay, that means one, two, three. Until three steps, the CEO is not does not have any knowledge of what is purchased and what is happening in the company he is maintaining. Right, this is one disadvantage, small disadvantage in our small example. And after 4 days only he came to know that they purchased a large amount of something, and finance had also approved because of that file. Because of his meetings, he also did not know what is happening. That means it took, say, for example, it took 4 to 5 days to reach the table of MD or CEO head. If every day it is happening like that, then the company, whatever they are doing the transactions, they, the data will not be the more secure. That means they can change whoever is in the middleman, whoever is there, they can change the data, and whoever is spending money in the company, they will also not know on what they are spending the money. So if, say, for example, this in these 7 members, whoever is filling the details what he is about to purchase, while filling the details, if he knows that, that means the first, after the fourth member, from the top, sorry, from the bottom, if he knows that whatever they are doing from the day one, then he can revert the transactions or hold the transactions if they don't want to do, right. That means if we make if we make the data to be visible to all of them at one time, whatever we are doing, then that is called an ERP. That means we are making the entire process through planning, and it will be visible to all of them at one moment. Okay, if it is a file system, it is taking around 5 to 6 days to reach the top leadership and to understand what is happening in the company. Say, for example, if you are filling something, say, for example, the same file, if this and this whoever is purchased, if we kept to purchase, if we kept in the purchase header table, sorry, purchase head table, then he also approved on the same hour, and it sent to the finance head, and he approved on the same hour, and it reached the MD on the same hour, means around 20 minutes gap. Then they are following something in the same day, right. On the same day they know what is happening in this company, to maintain the transparency in the transactions and to understand what is happening in their company, and to do this all at once. So they introduced or this ERP we can use. That means, say, for example, I am an administration user, right. So whoever is filling the data in this sales or customers, I can see what are the customers are there in the system through online. Okay, and say, for example, if I take a small shop also, will purchase paste, brush, nearby roads, small shops, right. We call that kirana shops. So from that shop also, if they have to do the daily transactions ledger and maintain their balance, they will have to write that in the one book. And whatever they purchased, sometimes they will purchase some auto wala will come, they will give some items, like dynamically they will ask if you want this, if you want, then they will purchase those items, and they will sell the items whoever the customer is coming to their small shop. So in order to maintain all these transactions, and say, for example, after 5 days they want to see what he purchased and what he sold, then he have to open 3 to 4 books based on his transactions in the sense based on the things he do. Say for example, if I have everything in one system, that means all my departments at one system, finance here, sales here, and purchasing here, then it is very easy to every user what is happening in the system, and also the heads, the top leadership also can understand what is happening in their company based on the based on the transactions we are doing in the system. Okay, that means what I am trying to say here is, say for example, as a user, I try to fill one sales order. Take a sales order. Okay, then I try to fill a sales order. I'm selecting the customer, any customer. Okay, then I am giving any item. So, say for example, we want to sell 5 quantity. Okay, this is, as a user, I have filled this thing. Then this should be approved from the sales head or the finance head based on the amounts. Okay, and maybe CEO also. So once he filled, we can use these approvals, send approval request. Okay, so this will send an email to particular user and show notifications in this system or in their mail also, that so and so user filled a sales order, filled a sales order of this number for this customer, so please approve something. That means whoever is using this system, they will get a notification in this system, this in this screen, as well as an email also. So daily we will check emails, right? Based on that we will know what is happening in the system. And as this system we are using, if I once you open this system, I will have a notification that okay, so and so users I am working here or working here, and these are the sales orders filled here, and based on the count also I will know that what is happening. So ERP means we are making more transactions like finance transactions, sales transactions, and purchase transactions, sometimes manufacturing or warehouse transactions in one system, so that top leadership and also heads, they can access, they can see what is happening in the system. Okay, got it? Did you, I mean, till now any questions? Okay, so in every ERP, like we discussed, we have so many modules. Sometimes HR also, HR means human resource also will have. Based on the ERP we are designing and customizations we do. So okay, now this business central, to maintain all these transactions in business central or SAP or anything, we need a database. Okay? Because if I am updating data, if data is being updated, then it should be stored somewhere, right? Stored somewhere. That is database. For SAP, they will maintain separately, and the business central we are seeing this we call as UI only, user interface. But the original things, the data, it is being stored in the database. For SAP, they will have different database, Oracle, maybe MySQL, FNO SQL, like Business Central and FNO SQL, NetSuite, which is also a pair child for Oracle, maybe MySQL. Barn, I don't know more in detail, but for Business Central or now will maintain that is in SQL. Okay, SQL through tables. That means whatever whatever data we are seeing here, that is from the table, it is sending the data to the UI. We call this as page. The data we are viewing in the Business Central, if we call this as UI, Business Central UI, then we can call this as a page, and page is holding the data of a table. That means the data is being stored in the table. Okay, let me open the database also to make it more clear. So this is the database. Okay, one moment. Yeah, okay. So maybe everyone is not aware of this one. So we are accessing the database through management server, Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. This is one UI which we are accessing the database through this connect and disconnect. And from this one, I can access my tables. Okay. So these are all the tables in this database. This this say for example, this is my Business Central database, and these are all my tables, and in this my data will be stored. Okay. So creating how the tables will be created is based on the technology we learn in for the Business Central. Okay. Now, so w- in this Business Central, we will learn introduction to Business Central. I will do it again, and we will understand what is the difference between Spring version and Wave 2 version. That means, say for example, every software will release they're like not a software, we can call the product. Okay, now we can call it as a product. Every product will release its versions based on the updates it will give. The same way Microsoft will release its updates 2 times. So we'll understand that also, what is Spring version and Wave 2 version. And we'll also understand what is on premise and cloud for the Business Central, and what are the benefits of the cloud version, and what are the benefits of on-premise version. And we'll also understand how to create a project, like to work in Business Central. uh, yeah, like every software we have to create a project. Here also we'll understand how to create a project using the VS Code. Nowadays every development everyone is doing through Visual Studio Code. That also will understand how to use VS Code for Business Central. And to use VS Code we have to install few things, that also we'll understand. And after that, creating tables. So the database, shown you, right, we are creating a tables. We have to create a tables to store the data in the database, so that I can show the data in my view, here in my view, through pages. So for that I'll have to create tables. Those tables are in my database, and for that we'll have to understand creating tables using that one. And okay, created tables, but based on the software will work. Every software will work based on the actions or trigger points. Trigger in the sense, whatever we do, we are telling the software do. Say for example, if you if you take any e-commerce in the sense Amazon site, you when we are viewing the item in the Amazon. Say for example, let me open it. I don't know whether Amazon. Okay. .in. Okay. Take anything. Take, take this item for example. Okay. Here. Okay. It is not available. Okay. Deliver file X. Okay. So here I have one button, and I am telling add all three. This is telling me add all three to cart. So when I press this button, we are telling the Amazon site or this software, this UI, okay, do this action. So how does it know to add to the cart? That means under this button, there is some code. Okay, this is one item, and this is one item, this is one item. Okay, I will have to get these details from my database table. Okay, get these tables from the database table. Okay, then I will get these tables, and say for example, if my cart is one table, I will have to add all these three items, one, two, three. Maybe item number we can take one, two, three is a two is a one item number, three is one item number. I will have to create three records in my table. Okay, in that way, based on the actions only, every software will work. So we will understand that also in the business central, for this business central. And not only that, what is the difference between table and a table extension? How we will use table extension? What are all the scenarios we will use table extensions? That also we will understand. And page, like we discussed earlier, page is something we can call this. Did I close that Amazon? Yes, sorry. Amazon. This I am calling as a page for the business central UI. If I take all this as UI and I am calling this as page, through page I am seeing the records. And if I take Amazon site also, we can call this all this as UI. We are viewing everything through web page. Okay. So in this page, I have so many items. And this is one page which is showing these item details the same way, and this is one page, this is showing some records, maybe I don't know, 1 2 3 4 5 some records it is showing, but it is showing something in this page. So we can call this as a view or a page, web page, something we will understand that also. Okay. And handling code in AL page, like we discussed earlier, each software will work based on the action only. That action we have to tell, okay, do this action, do this action, no, change, do this action, do this action. The same things we will do here. So every page will have some trigger points. Do this action, do this action, do these things. So how we will handle these things. We'll also understand these things in this point. The same way, table extension, page extension. What are these? How we will do? Uh, Based on the scenarios, we'll understand what are table extensions and page extensions, why it came into the picture, why we'll have to use. We'll understand all these things. And role center page. Why role center page? What is the most things in that role center page? We'll understand those things also. And these are like more most like coding. We are Once we are done with this explanation, explaining about these objects or whatever we call them. So after from these concepts, like it's like deep into the AL programming. Through learning business central means we are learning AL in the sense application language for business central. Where is the notepad? Yeah, for business central we will learn a programming language, right, which is called AL. We call that as application language. We'll understand the syntax of this application language while creating, no, not while creating, after creating tables and understanding the page extensions. The moment when we start the coding part, we'll understand the application language. Actually, this every ERP, not only this ERP, every ERP, we have to understand the business scenario first. To understand the business scenario, we'll have to understand what is happening around us. Say for example, as a user, I will go to one shop, give 50 rupees or 60 rupees, I will buy, and he will give, say for example, it is 55 rupees, I give 60 rupees. Okay, then I am getting 5 rupees back. That means from my pocket I have, it is like some 60, it is decreased. I have one item I have in my hand. Okay, one item in hand. Then the item price is around 55 rupees. Okay, now I have 5 rupees positive. I will make positive 5 rupees. Okay, 5 rupees. So these things we do daily, but if we keep that in the book, this is a kind of business we are doing daily. Business in the sense, if we look into the transactional things means, if you write in the book, okay, you have in your pocket a 60, you have given it to some others. That means it's not, the 60 rupees is not with you until you have item in hand, right? At that moment, you don't have that 60 rupees, but you in from your purse or wallet, the 60 rupees is decreased until you have the item in hand. Then what happened? Some something added to the inventory. This we call as inventory. That if that inventory, you can take a biscuit or any bowl also, anything, rice, banana, that we have to call that as inventory. That that will come under your company. Say for example, you are a company, that it comes under your company, which is worth of, this inventory is now worth of 55 rupees. So the item price is 55. Now you have again, after that, until the shopkeeper gives you this 5 rupees, you are worth now only 55. That 5 rupees difference is still, we see that, right? We will ask, okay, where is the change? Give me my 5 rupees. Then he gives you 5 rupees. So it got balanced now. 60 got balanced. That means 60 transaction is completed based on these things. So at the end of the every financial year, every company has to show what is happening in their books. In their books means those we call as financial transactions or any transactions. So if you have 60 rupees, what you did? That's why these income tax officers will come and ask, where is this money, where you spend, show me that receipt, show me things, how you got this money. So these things they will ask. If this is not balanced and you have something around more 80 in your books, then you have to show how these 80 rupees came into your books. If you are not able to show, they will apply tax. Say for example, for the income tax, I am telling everything is involved. ERP is like your life. Whatever you are doing, that is an ERP. But the thing is, you'll have to understand what is happening through business. You have to see the transactions through business. Then you will understand these things. Why table? Why I have to write code? Why table extension? Why page extension? Why page extension? All this coding and reports also will understand. What are reports? It's very simple. Technically, okay, report is very big thing, we'll think like that. But if you go to the petrol pump, some some guys will ask, "Arey Babi, give me the receipt." The receipt is called the report. If you read the report or receipt, the address will be there, the company address. That means whoever is giving you the receipt, they should provide their company address. On the top, if you understand, you'll see the company address. Then once you come down, it will show you, say for example, for the petrol pump, how much oil you purchased. It will show you that and the amount you paid. But if you take Amazon invoice, it will show Amazon address and your address, customer address, and the items you purchased and the tax it applied to that items, discount you availed from Amazon, that and total you spent and the total you have given to the Amazon. Those all things it will show that we call as a report in any ERP. Say for example, in this left corner, I'm showing you virtually. I try to understand. I don't have Amazon invoice to show you now. Maybe here I will search test Amazon. No, no, no. Hmm. Daily we will see that, but what only we will understand is okay. Our eyes simply come here. Let me try if I can make this more bigger. No, why? Yeah, this is very good, right? So whenever if I purchase an item, say for example, we'll scroll down and check what is the item I purchased and check here. Don't ask me ID. Okay, I don't want. We'll check here what is the item I purchased and the amount I paid. But the invoice, this invoice, whatever Amazon is giving to us, we call this as a report in the ERP terminology. If you check clearly, it will have company address and billing address of the customer, whoever do, and say shipment address. Both address they will maintain. This you will understand through reports, why report, and how the reports will be designed, and the items we show here. Everything will understand through reports. Okay. So more like debugging process also. Debugging in the sense sometimes when we write a code, it's very common thing to get an bug. If you're not getting bugs in code, that means we are not writing good code. This is a basic thing for a developer. So through bugs only everyone will learn their programming skills, and while learning the skills we should not repeat the same bugs. That is one thing we have to remember. Okay, so sometimes we can identify the bugs while learning the while reading the code, but sometimes we'll have to understand the process, like how it is happening in the back end in the sense mm, if we open this one, if I click buy now, something will happen and we don't know what will happen, that right? So to understand that one we will use a term like debug. Debug means we are understanding the process, what the code is written and how the code is working from the page, how the data is being transferred to other tables. These all process will understand through debugging. Okay, these are all things, and so many things also, like some tips and tricks also will understand. And business central also overview. Oh, no, where is my business central? Yeah, so business central also will understand how it is happening. And I think yeah, that's it. So any questions till now?
No, sir.
Are you clear of what I try to explain?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very good. I'm not going very deep because this is a demo, so I'm trying to make you understand what is an ERP, and I am trying to make you understand through our life how we are doing. And like everyday life we do the ERP, but we don't see that deep how we are doing the ERP in the sense enterprise resource planning, and those transactions we don't see, we simply don't care. But if you look deep into that, we are doing these transactions daily. Say for example, if you are the owner of the company, and you will act as a owner, finance head, approving buying the things if you want, we don't want, based on the money, and selling the things. Sometimes we sell things, right? And purchasing the things we do every time. So we will act as a company, but we don't look into like that. If you understand what you are doing, an ERP is very simple functionally, and technically any programming language will have to understand the concepts. Okay, okay then so that is a small demo I would make to try to understand the ERP. If anything, ask me questions now. Otherwise, we can wind off. Okay, then we'll wind off. Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye.